Hi, we're Avian Avarice. It's 11:45. We are in New York.
But we're about to be in New Jersey because that's where the World Series of Birding happens.
Facts.
2, 1, birds. New Jersey Audubon's World Series of Birding is an annual birding competition and fundraiser. Each year, teams in the full state category try to travel the entire state of New Jersey to identify as many birds as they possibly can in a single day. The current members of our team have competed together every year since 2017, and we've been on other teams going back to 2009. This year, the team is hoping to bounce back from a few down years. Will this finally be the year that we break 200 species? It's just after 1 a.m. and we're leaving our first location. And as is so often the case, we've already got a tough bird that we're discussing. And we think we may actually have had 2 owls at the first location, great horned and long-eared, which is a really, really good bird to get. And they actually kind of sound similar at times, so we're trying to make sure we're not getting them confused. But sounds like we had 2 distinctly different owls, which was pretty cool.
Mix of people.
You like your quick check stop?
No, I felt like I was wronging the competition. How dare we spend non-birding time on something? I mean, we could have gotten a house sparrow in there. You never know.
It turned out that this night would be windier than predicted or expected, keeping us from hearing many of the birds that could be singing at night. By dawn, the wind was beginning to subside, and birds were singing everywhere we went.
You have blue wing, yeah?
I had 4, but let me see if I can get this one.
Yeah, it was that just jumped in there.
Alright, whatever, let's not
I don't
stay
do
here.
anything different yet.
Yeah,
Well,
just spin us around.
Blue wing would still be.
No, blue wing.
Alright, we're like substantially late.
No. What's substantially?
We're halfway through our time at Steamville already.
Okay. Ed.
As the morning passed quickly by, we traveled through High Point State Park, Stokes State Forest, and back to the grasslands looking for passerines, woodpeckers, and raptors. It's now meat o'clock, which for us means every odd number hour we're rationing our meat sticks. So it's about 9 o'clock. We've got just over 80 species. I mean, it's not spectacular. It's not terrible. We're not really sure what to think yet. So we're gonna find out how the rest of the morning goes. We're on our way down to Hudson County right now. Monk parakeets should be our next.
Make a slight right onto New Jersey 23 South.
I got something low over the horizon here. Ah! That slight window I have on the hill in the trees, there's something flying low to the grass. You see the solar panel?
Yeah.
Right behind that. I don't know which way it's going to come out, but it might have been Harrier.
Harrier, really?
It was low. It was right over the top of the grass.
We're in Jersey City. If you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said this is the last place I want to drive on World Series.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that a whole bunch of ducks that we had here earlier this week are still here in this park, and they might not be, but if we get them, it's going to put us in a pretty good spot. So we're putting up with the traffic.
Yay.
Traffic would imply that it's moving in some way, shape, or form.
It's a parking lot, but it's Jersey City for you. We're moving!
Oh,
Yay!
look, yay.
Why do people live here?
We searched Newark Bay for the ducks, geese, and loon that we had during Scout Week, but unfortunately, none appeared. Our only consolation were a few yellow-crowned night herons. It's 1:15 in the afternoon, and we find ourselves about 45 minutes behind schedule thanks to the traffic in Jersey City and some maybe not so tight timekeeping at our last couple of stops. But we have plans for how to try to fix that, and it's going to involve cutting a little bit here, trimming a little bit there, and hopefully getting a little bit lucky. So here's to getting lucky, and let's see what happens in the next 2 hours. We just left Beaver Swamp Wildlife Management Area, which we went to for one bird and we got before we even parked, which let us save some time. So now we're only 20 minutes behind. Everything is going really well at this point. Checklist maybe is not going as well as we hoped, but if things keep going this way, we may make up the birds we're missing. It's 3:04. We're in a gas station. We are really behind schedule, like 30-40 minutes behind schedule. We thought we were catching up. Now we're not, and we really are running out of time to try to make up the difference. The consequence is if we don't stay on schedule, then we won't get to our last daytime location before daytime ends. And whatever birds are there, we won't see. So we really need to find some places we can cut some things, and that's gonna have to happen in the next like 2 or 3 hours.
I didn't hear any pick-tucky tuck or anything like that. I heard it sound more like nuthatchy wub kind of thing.
Okay, we're happy. We got summer tanager, worm-eating warbler, and something else? Well, those are the two we really came here for.
That's it, I think, yes.
So, moving on.
Yeah.
We're still lacking hairy woodpecker.
Yeah.
We got to figure out where to get that.
But we're making up on time, big time here.
But we're not making the time worse. We've got 7 minutes to drive away to break even. If we can get out of here before then we'll make up some time.
Birds.
And birds. 6:30. We have approximately 150 species, which is really kind of bad. But we have one more big location to hit, and hopefully we'll pick up a good handful there. We're going to Forsyth National Wildlife Refuge, which is our last daytime spot. And this is something that Rob and I used to do on a previous team, and we haven't done it this way in like probably 15 years. So kind of hoping it's gonna work.
Kind of need it.
Kind of need it to work, yeah, pretty much. Either way, we're not looking at like some sort of bang up total, but also I don't really think that the playing field was good to everybody. It doesn't mean that there won't be a team that has a really high score, but I have a feeling everyone's going to feel like it was a tough year. Just wasn't any migrants around, so you never know. That's why we do this stuff.
birds.
I think I just saw him fly away.
Yeah, he was on that dead stump.
Yeah. That was cool. Yep.
Yep.
It's after 11:30. We've got our whippoorwills here at Turkey Point. Not a lot of time left, and you need a few minutes to send in the checklist. We're somewhere around 165. We'll check the exact number. It's not very good.
No.
You know, it's funny. I can't help but notice that it's actually less than last year
Yeah.
when we went south to north.
Yeah, I know. I have the same thought myself. Yeah. Well, when everything you scout hasn't moved,
Yeah, there was no migration at all.
too much wind for sparrows.
Too cold for calling.
Yep.
Too wet for calling.
So the big question will be, what are the totals from the other teams, and in particular the winning team? What will the winning team have?
They will have 205.
Perhaps. We're going to find out. Well, gentlemen, we're almost 1 week out from World Series of Birding 2025, and we ended with 166 species. Looking back, what's your reflection of this year's event?
Underperformed. Had a great plan, better than most years, and we could have had better results if the conditions were better.
Looking back during Scout Week, I had some mechanical errors with my gear, so I was able to upgrade, which was nice because I felt like I could confidently ID every bird that was in my scope. Unfortunately, none of the birds in my scope were the ones that we needed.
This is true. We had a great event. I think it's hard to say that we don't have a blast doing this, but here's another year where we did not come up with the total that we really wanted to have, which just means we're back at it for another year. And in 2026, hopefully we're finally going to be back in the 180s where we belong. But until then, subscribe, and we'll see you next year.